Hi, Ria. This is Mrs. Travers. Your email indicated that when you're logging in, you're having trouble knowing what to do, and I wanted to give you a heads up so that you can watch this video and know what you're supposed to be doing logging in. So when you log in, if you're logging in a different way or not on a computer, please let me know. You should come to this screen and all of your courses should be in here. You are in 4U, so I'm just going to click on this because that's my 4U class. I have lots of different classes that I'm teaching right now in addition to my online learning or my in-person learning. So the way that I organize this course is that you want to come to the course homepage. So when you log in, you're going to see the announcements. And this is just a quick overview as to what you're supposed to be working on. So this correlates with this date, and you can actually go through what we've been doing week by week. Sometimes I put in an instructional video, sometimes we're in groups. So this is your quick overview as to what you're supposed to be working on. So for today, because it's November 4th, it says to read and make notes on Unit 2, Activity 5, and that you have some things that are due today. It says that there is a discussion due today, and this is supposed to correlate with this. This is your calendar. So looking at this, you actually have something due when you see the little blue dot. Okay, so we know that, and you should prioritize what we're supposed to be working on each day. And because we're a little far behind, what I want you to think about doing is logging in and doing today's work, and then we can work backwards and get caught up. Okay, so I'm going to be sending you a little video about getting caught up. So knowing that you have a discussion due today, and these are usually due by the end of the day at 11:59, that it might be advantageous to actually click on that. It's the picture of this discussion and just see what you're supposed to do. So select an image, write a 500 to 800 word story, use the assessment tools, etc. Okay, so in looking at that, we want to go back here, and maybe you're not able to participate in that. And the question is, where do I find the information for that? Okay, Unit 2, Activity 3, we can always find the content right here. So you can choose to participate in this, or maybe we can do that at a later time. So the first thing on read and make notes on Unit 2, Activity 5, and after seeing that we're going to be working on something within Unit 2, Activity 5, we're going to go into content. We're actually going to click on Unit 2, Activity 5, and then we're going to open up that content. So after knowing what you're supposed to be working on and looking at specific assignments, then you're going to go into content. Here is all of the information you are going to need in order to complete any of them. So sometimes it'll tell you to write it in your writer's notebook. That's really just for you to be able to do the assignments. So I'm not grading or assessing that. Your writer's notebook is you participating in an activity. It's like being in a class and a teacher hands out a worksheet and you're expected to do it because it helps with your learning, and then you record that in there. And so using all that information, we're actually going to write a short story. Okay, so this short story is between 1,000 and 5,000 words. It can be shorter or longer than that, but definitely touch base with me. So this is what I want you working on this week, is that I want you to read through this information about creating a short story, and I want you to start working on this assignment. In addition to the criteria here, you can access the rubric and you can even hand it in here. When you're done and ready to hand it in, let's go back to the main page. So that we can see when that assignment is due. The Big Short is due November 13th. So you've got a lot of time on that. You can be working on it this week to ensure that you're going to hand that in properly. Okay, so it's not due this week, but you have time in which to work on it, but you should be using your time to do that. You could be working on handing these in. So these are from Unit 2, Activity 3. So we could, knowing that there's assignments this week coming in addition to Unit 2, Activity 5, you could go to Unit 2, Activity 3, and go through the content and information there. So there's 2 assignments that are both outlined here. There's the 6-word story. So here's the outline here where you're going to create your own 6-word story and submit it to your teacher. So you can hand it in there, or you can go into the main page here. You can go into assignments. You can hand them in there. And you can scroll down and find the 6-word story and hand it in there. Or you can even go to the course home and you can look at the previous week when that was due. And you can actually look at what that assignment was, etc. There's the 6-word story there. Okay, so these are here so that you know where you're supposed to be going. The calendar is here to provide you due dates and so that you know where you can access those things. So this week we're working on these 2. So that might be really important. See upcoming events. We can click on the 3rd and then see upcoming events. And then we know what's going on this week and what's going to be coming up. We can check for this for due dates to see what we're supposed to be working on. But ideally, you should be going into the content according to this and clicking on the correct content and reading through it and completing the activities from there. I hope this video explains the flow of how you're supposed to be using this course. And if you have any questions, you can email me.